The guest list for the upcoming coronation of King Charles is out. After months of speculation, we now know Prince Harry will be attending. His wife, Meghan, however, will not. NBC News correspondent Ali Arouzi joins me now from London. Ali, do we know why Meghan won't be going along with her husband?
Hey, Kate, we don't know much beyond the statements that have...
I don't think that we'll see King Charles do this because he's not confrontational. I don't think that he likes the fact that he's been accused of racism towards his grandchildren in Omid Scobie's book.
There are growing calls to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say enough is enough, especially after Prince Harry's disastrous BBC interview, which aired hours after he lost his appeal for taxpayer-funded UK security. The King wouldn't want to be alone with them either. What more can you tell us from that interview?
That's right. Queen Camilla has to be there, the quote-unquote wicked stepmother, according to Prince Harry. Queen Camilla has to be in the room with King Charles. In the rare moment that he does actually see Prince Harry, we know today he's not even taking his phone call.
Of the royal family, Hugo Vickers, who revealed the late Queen was so fearful of Harry and Meghan that she wouldn't want to be alone with them. Let's just take a listen to that interview.
And Harry that said that, that Harry will be attending the ceremony, but Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, will not be attending, will be staying in California with her children. Now, they haven't said why she won't be attending, but there's plenty of speculation going on here. And one of the main reasons is probably that the day that the ceremony is...
Welcome back to Pop Flash, where the royalty is always piping hot and the drama never stops. Buckle up, because the crown has finally done what millions didn't believe was possible. After years of scandals, interviews, and endless headlines, King Charles has officially stripped Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their royal titles. Yes, you heard that right. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are no longer Duke and Duchess, just Harry and Meghan now. And make no mistake, this wasn't some quiet, behind-the-scenes update buried on the royal website.
And on that note, that the decree, Richard, that the title will revert to the crown at the time of Edward's passing is quite unusual, isn't it? And do you think that we could start to see Charles stripping through those other titles, Kent or Sussex? Would that revert to the crown?
This is really interesting.
This was loud, this was bold, and this was personal. According to rumors, palace insiders say the decision came straight from King Charles himself. And it wasn't made lightly. The public backlash had been brewing for years. But when Harry launched another round of interviews slamming the monarchy, the patience inside Buckingham Palace ran out. And the UK public? They were done too. Polls, petitions, furious headlines. People were demanding action. They were tired of seeing Harry and Meghan use their royal clout while tearing down the institution that gave it to them. So now, for the first time in modern royal history, titles have been completely revoked from a living prince. Not for a crime, but for controversy. And it's sending shockwaves through the royal world like never before. But this is just the beginning.
And the whole point was that it was a hereditary title that would be passed on to the sons. And King Charles has said, no, that's not going to happen. It's going to be just for life. But to me, this undermines the whole case for the monarchy. The monarchy is based on the hereditary principle. We have other royal dukes, as you mentioned, like the Duke of Gloucester.
Because what pushed King Charles over the edge? Why now? And what's really going on behind palace doors? Keep watching, because what's coming next is even more brutal. So, why now? Why did King Charles wait this long to pull the royal plug on Harry and Meghan? Well, according to royal insiders, it was all about the final straw. And guess what that was? Harry's newest round of media interviews, where he once again dragged the royal family through the mud. In one interview, he claimed that the monarchy had shown no accountability. In another, he described royal life as a mix of the Truman Show and being in a zoo. The palace? Mortified. Royal aides were reportedly in shock, calling the interviews a public betrayal. And King Charles? Furious. Sources close to the monarch say he saw these new attacks as deeply disrespectful, not just to the crown, but to him personally as a father and as a king. He felt Harry was burning bridges faster than the monarchy could rebuild them. But the kicker? According to rumors, Charles had given Harry and Meghan multiple chances to back down, to reconnect, to make peace.
Well, is King Charles going to turn to the very frail and elderly Duke of Kent now and tell him that his son is not going to get his inheritance, which is the title, when he dies? You know, I'd be surprised if that was the case. As well with Prince Richard and Duke of Gloucester, and also, you know, with Harry, that's another.
But every time, they went bigger, bolder, and louder. Books, documentaries, explosive claims. And now, Charles is done playing nice. Royal protocol was tossed out the window, he made the call, and within days, official records were updated, removing the titles Duke and Duchess of Sussex from public-facing royal materials. It was swift, it was silent, and it was final. No press conference, no soft statement, just gone. And the message couldn't be clearer. If you're going to act like you're not part of this family, we're going to treat you like you're not. But what does this mean for Harry and Meghan moving forward? And how are they reacting behind the scenes? Let's just say, things are not as peaceful as they want the world to believe. Publicly, Harry and Meghan are acting like nothing happened, smiling on red carpets, holding hands at galas, posting polished photos with inspirational quotes, but behind closed doors? According to insiders, the mood in Montecito is explosive. Meghan was reportedly blindsided by the removal of their royal titles online. She allegedly found out just hours before the official update went live. And her reaction? One royal watcher described it as a meltdown behind mansion walls.
Families, and obviously it's no big secret that there is an enormous amount of tension between these families. There's a lot of palace intrigue going on here, especially amongst the media here, and there may be a sense that her presence here may overshadow King Charles's really most important day of his life, purely because of how much.
Rumors say Meghan felt humiliated, not just by the move itself, but by the timing. Right before several high-profile public appearances, including a major award ceremony where she was set to be introduced as the Duchess of Sussex. That title, gone. According to sources close to the couple, Meghan was fuming, calling the move petty, vindictive, and an intentional attempt to embarrass her in front of the world. As for Harry, he's said to be caught between loyalty and regret. On one hand, he's still defending Meghan, but on the other, he's said to be quietly devastated over his father's decision. According to one palace insider, Harry still held on to hope that some sort of reconciliation was possible. But this move? It felt like a door had been slammed shut, the source said. And while Harry may be used to the cold shoulder from certain royals, hearing his own father sign off on this, it hit differently. Meanwhile, PR experts are scrambling to rework Meghan's upcoming press tour, removing the royal references from promotional materials. And it's not just branding that's taking a hit. According to rumors, some sponsors are panicking. Why? Because much of Meghan's public value was tied to that royal glow, the prestige of being a duchess. Without it, some brands are reportedly reconsidering their deals entirely. And that could spell big financial trouble ahead. But the most shocking twist? There's more to this story. Now here's where things go nuclear. Because the removal of those royal titles, it's not just personal. It's potentially catastrophic for Meghan and Harry's business empire. Let's start with the biggest domino, Netflix. Their massive multi-million-dollar deal with the streaming giant was inked when the couple still carried the full weight of their royal branding. Think about it. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex brought global prestige, intrigue, and built-in storytelling power, but now, according to rumors, executives at Netflix are reassessing the optics. Insiders say there's growing concern that without the royal angle, the Sussex's future projects may lose that high-value sparkle. One source reportedly claimed they've already burned through the novelty. Without the royal edge, what's left? And that's not the only contract in jeopardy. The Archewell Foundation, once promoted with full royal flair, could face increased scrutiny. Why? Because donations and partnerships were often tied to Meghan and Harry's titles, even if unofficially. Now that Buckingham Palace has made a clear digital break, some charities are allegedly distancing themselves, worried about the implications. There are even whispers that a few former collaborators are considering pulling out entirely, fearing backlash from the palace. And then there's the future. What does this mean for Harry and Meghan's chances of ever returning to the royal fold? According to royal insiders, that door may now be completely closed. The Strip title sent a message loud and clear. The firm is moving on. Don't expect invites to royal weddings. Forget balcony appearances at coronations. One source close to the palace said, "This wasn't just a website update, this was a declaration." And the ripple effect is already starting. From Hollywood executives to charity boardrooms, people are watching closely. Because if the Sussexes are no longer tied to royalty in any official way, what exactly are they selling? It's more ambitious than anyone expected. So, while Buckingham Palace might be cutting ties, Meghan Markle, she's not backing down. In fact, according to rumors, she's preparing for a total rebrand. Sources close to Meghan say she's been quietly meeting with Hollywood insiders, image consultants, and even fashion executives to reshape her identity. One that doesn't rely on being a duchess. She's reportedly planning to step into the spotlight not as a royal, but as a global lifestyle icon. Think Oprah meets Gwyneth Paltrow, but with a bold, modern twist. And it starts with her new brand, which insiders claim will focus on luxury, empowerment,